Welcome into F.A.W.B. episode 14, guys.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I just realized my left side, my good side.
That is your good side. Oh crap, I don't know if we can see Joe in here. We're all trying to squish in here. We're doing a live podcast today. Sorry about the audio. The audio seems a little bit off.
Yeah.
The mics that we had originally, they shitted out. So here we are. We're doing this now. Does that look blurry to anybody else? Is that just my eyes?
It looks a little blurry, but I feel like that's just age catching up with me.
Everything a little blurry to me.
Yeah. Can someone turn the stereo down?
Yeah. Come on, Reagan. Let us know how you guys like the live setting. I know we're going to get some audio here pretty soon, so it'll make the audio sound a lot better and more clean. I know we kind of sound a little bit farther away. All right. So, anyways, today we got Nick with us today. Nick, did we get Nick a nickname yet?
No, not yet.
We gotta give Nick a nickname.
Nick's gonna earn his nickname.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna earn your nickname.
Yeah.
Well, he kind of does have a nickname.
What is it?
It's Jordan Friday.
Yeah, nobody likes Mondays, everybody likes Fridays. That's
Yeah.
We didn't make one back to a category.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, so we just got done training our Sundays Master Division class. This is where all of the old folks go on Sundays, including myself. Steven's looking over at me like,
I didn't know this guy here.
And Nick's here with us today because he had a competition. What was it, yesterday?
Yesterday.
Yesterday, his first ever jiu-jitsu competition. He did well, took second place, which is awesome, repping the school really well.
yes.
We're gonna talk a little bit about that. We went live so we can talk about some current events, and we can go over the Mike Tyson, Jake Paul boxing match. I know I watched that. Did you guys watch that?
Yeah.
I watched it. I didn't want to, but I felt compelled to.
I felt really compelled to as well. Like I was a little,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know how it's gonna go.
Well, it's Tyson, you got
Exactly.
everyone has.
I'm a huge Tyson fan. I always have been, honestly.
Yeah. So
and
with his head movements, I thought he could have, but
Grabbing your
Jake is a lot of
Oh, so it's not my phone. It's not mine. Here,
that was mine. You can hold it.
I'm holding it in one, bro.
I just don't understand how anybody thought that a 58-year-old man was going to knock out like somebody in their prime.
Did you watch him fighting when he was 54?
Well, yeah, I did.
And that Tyson likely could have knocked out. Jake
So
Paul.
I understand that you guys are talking about two fighters fighting and everything, but like, if Mike Tyson was really going to be a danger to the guy, he wouldn't have been allowed to step in the ring.
I agree.
Yeah, because Jake Paul is building a brand.
Yeah.
He's building a brand that every time he steps into the ring, he gets $40 million.
Yeah.
Right? Like he's not messing around. Yeah, it's like even if Mike was allowed to like strike like he should, like he could, I don't know if he would have had enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just grateful that he didn't get hurt. That was obviously that's a possibility.
It seemed like a funny grab to me. You could see Mike move his head, but he wouldn't really throw a punch.
Yeah.
And Jake, he could have knocked him out a couple of times with his helmet. It was just, and they went all 8 rounds.
Yeah.
It was a money grab.
Felt like it. And to tell you the truth, I'm not terribly upset about that. I mean,
Everyone knew.
Mike Tyson got paid.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with that too. I mean, it looked like it was obvious. I feel like Mike Tyson was just heavy on his feet. I feel Jake Paul, he managed the range really well, kept him at the end of his punches. Mike was just too slow to slip past those punches and get within range to really land any significant hits.
Yeah.
And he just outran him. I mean, that was a clear display of somebody that is seasoned or somebody in their prime when it comes to that. I don't think that the technique was over the top. I don't think he out-techniqued Mike. I just think he outran him, He took him into deep waters, and age caught up with him. And it was pretty obvious. I heard Mike Tyson had some injuries going into it. Like he had a leg injury or something like that, but he doesn't want to use that as an excuse.
Yeah.
Which I don't blame him when he set up. It was a good match though. It was exciting. We got to see Mike Tyson back in the ring, you know,
Yeah.
that's always exciting to see. You
I
know,
hope
it's
he
a little
doesn't
bit
step
of
up
a-
again, man.
Yeah.
I hope he stays out of the ring.
Well, it's up to him, you know, and that's the
It's
thing
a lot of
too,
money, too.
I also, and we talked about when it came to competition, you know, like, even my views on competition have changed, and maybe for him, it's changed too, it's something that he's done his whole life,
Yeah.
he's enjoyed doing it, it's probably more a part of him than we know,
Yeah.
and it was probably hard for him to walk away, and if he can get these little exhibition matches to where, you know, we can fight YouTubers and still get $100 million,
Right.
and it's not like he's in there just killing himself,
Right.
then yeah, everybody wins, fans win, he wins,
I don't-
he does
I
put
don't
something
know
on the
that he
legacy.
I don't know,
You
but
know-
I think Mike Tyson, like everybody else, has to accept the fact that, the human experience is about, transitions, it's about development. You're not gonna, he's not the same man that he once was, he's gotta accept that. And I don't know, who cares about money, like honestly, like part of me is glad that he got paid.
Yeah.
He needs that.
Yeah.
But, past a certain point, it's unnecessary, in fact, it'd be detrimental to his progress. He's gonna die someday, you know what I mean? And like, why diminish the legacy? Why,
Did you hear what he said about legacy?
yeah, I heard it said that legacy.
Legacy is just ego to him. He says, screw
Yeah,
legacy.
yeah.
It means nothing to me. He
He's,
says, all it is like
yeah.
ego to me.
He doesn't have anything left to prove to anybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that dude has fought some of the top contenders, like, in their prime. And just knocked out the slew of bodies that lay under Mike Tyson's wrath. You know what I mean? It's like,
I watched it,
he doesn't
video.
have anything.
I watched an interview with him
If he
where
wants to get paid, let him get paid.
he explained his DMT experience and how they gave up his ego and he looked back on
Had the ego.
Yeah,
I feel like I
yeah,
had
yeah.
one. I was on
Yeah.
Monster Influence.
Yeah.
Saw myself.
I've had a lot of them.
Yeah, that's not,
I lived 3 weeks in one night. I'd look at the clock.
That's crazy, man. Yeah, no, I was like out of body experience,
Yeah.
looking at myself. Like, and I went through like the whole night. I feel like where I went, like the EMT came in, they're moving me, and I was watching it all, and they're like
Yep.
talking to my fiance and having to call my kid and all this stuff, and I was like, and I'm just like watching it, I'm like, all right, wow, yeah, it was really interesting. It's pretty, yeah.
well, a lot
All
of stuff
longer on
that Mike, has put out in the last few years, right, has been like more of a wisdom, spiritual progress.
Yeah.
And I was like, when he started taking his experiences and translating them into real wisdom, that's what captivated me. That's what made me like,
Yeah.
I liked him before, I love him after that.
Yeah.
I don't want to see him taking steps away from that. Go down that path. my
Yeah.
friend. That's the path that's gonna lead you
Yeah.
to the real treasure.
I think there's
not
a-
money, not stepping back.
And
in
in
the
between,
ring.
the
There's
difference
riches
between
at the
those two paths,
There's
maybe,
riches
where
that the flesh can't touch.
he was so far right that he had to come back, like left, took the DMT and did all that stuff, and now he's kind of centered somewhat to where he can still kind of go and do this thing that he has a passion for.
Well, I don't
And
think
still-
anybody's path is linear. I think you're right. There's probably all kinds of different ways that has it all recursive. You come back and you know what I mean? People relapse sometimes too, you know what I mean?
I thought about that when I got clean, like completely, and freaking went like 6 months, nothing,
Yeah.
everything. I even gave up sugar, like
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah,
Six
it's
months.
good,
So-
yeah.
I felt good, but you know, then later on, I was sort of like, oh man, I kind of want to smoke some marijuana. I do, I kind of want to smoke some marijuana, and then I was really like hesitant about doing it, 'cause it started like bringing up a bunch of like, oh, snowball effect and all that.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I did it, I ended up doing it, I sat down with my fiance, we smoked a joint, and then I didn't do it again for like a week, or like 2 weeks, and I was like, okay, and then I started realizing like, maybe my relationship's different. And I know like with some things I can't, like I know with some certain things I can't have any relationship.
Yeah.
Because there's no snow, like it's just off a cliff. I don't have a snowball, it's just now I'm back here.
Yeah.
But with some of those things from my past, I'm like, oh maybe I was using those things, I don't know, to help cover up this bigger thing or something like that. Or I wasn't as deep into those things as I thought, and I can handle that.
Yeah.
You know, when you're so far in that ocean or in that deep side of it, it's like everything involved. I have to get away from all of this to kind of like get clarity. But I feel like once I got clarity, I was like, okay.
Well, you were a horse kicker in your own right. like, you worked, security in some pretty gnarly places.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? And there have been like weapons pulled on you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I know that when you're in a place where your senses have to be heightened all the time, like the adrenaline that you get all the time. Like, I know for me, like, I was also a risk taker and other avenues.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, the drugs that I took, the fights I would get in, like, willing to throw away like my entire future, you know.
Yeah.
For nothing, right?
Yeah. We had a conversation with my fiance about that, not really thinking I was gonna live like past 30.
Yeah.
And then like getting to that point,
Yeah.
and then not knowing what to fucking do. You know, like I'm still kinda like,
Remember that feeling? Yep.
wading in water, sitting around like, okay, I thought I was gonna be dead by now, so now what, I'm still here, you know, not really developing that forethought either, because I never thought about the future, because you're always thinking like, well, why am I gonna plan for that when I'm gonna be dead anyway?
Yeah,
I'm not gonna be
401k.
around.
What are you,
And then you
401k?
start doing things like,
Yeah.
no, exactly.
Yeah.
A lot of that. You start doing things like to mask that. You're not, and a lot of that too comes from, not dealing with trauma and all that stuff. Not dealing with the situations that are in front of you. Putting that stuff off. So you start putting things in front of it. So that was kind of a little bit of a epiphany I had earlier.
Yeah, sure.
I remember like when you sign up for the military, they give you this option to take like something small out of your paycheck.
$100.
Like for like 3%.
The union does that too, 50 cents an hour.
Yeah.
It's 50
But
cents
like,
an hour,
and then by the time you're 60, you'll be a millionaire.
Yeah,
that's
right.
right.
Next
Yeah,
one. Awesome.
Yeah, it's called
Yeah,
index,
yeah.
yeah.
And I was just like, you know what? That doesn't make any sense. I'm not doing this. I was like, I'm not gonna make it to 60. People know I'm not making it to 60.
Give me the money now.
I'll take my
Especially when you're like, you're at war.
Yeah, right. I want to drink more.
That's wild. I did not get that option.
Yeah. I don't know when it came around, but like 2006, it was definitely around.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I got Intel was telling me that an index fund, if you take $300 a month and put it into this said low cost index fund. I'm not really familiar, but he was explaining it to me, and he said, after 20 years you'll have 60 grand in there, but it multiplies. So you could have upwards of, I don't know, you can round number, but it is a thing. It is a thing, and you can work with. I met a guy through our program that he put me in touch with a financial advisor, which I haven't called yet, but I mean, it is something to think about. My union does do 50 cents an hour. You can, in 50 cents an hour increments, you can have withheld from your check for your 401k. But the union, they also, there's low, medium, and high risk. So you could lose all that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
They gamble. It's basically gambling with your retirement. I mean,
Yeah.
and you have the option to.
I think if your college is gonna set up an annuity, and it could be extremely low risk.
Right.
And,
I might never
Sure,
graduate. I might never graduate college.
You see,
I might just stay in college forever.
Learn forever.
Yeah.
A scholar. A gentleman and a scholar.
financial advice coming into the gym.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the.
Let's talk about this tournament.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
That's all
yeah,
we're talking about.
yeah.
Drugs and all that. Yeah, this is what happens when we go live.
There was a jiu-jitsu tournament because we're at this jiu-jitsu school.
Oh yeah, so
Yesterday.
which tournament were we at?
I was at Grappling X in Portland, Oregon. There's another one in Tacoma. It's a pretty small tournament. I could hear my coach. It was
Nice.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was gonna be that small. I didn't
Yeah.
know one of those.
Yeah. So the first couple things
Like
he
double
said.
or something.
The first couple of things he said I did not hear. It's the a guy said that you're gonna feel strength from a human being like you've never felt before.
Yeah.
And when I was going for these takedowns with these guys, it's tough when someone doesn't care about you. It's not your teammate. They're trying to kill you. Yeah, it's different. It's a lot. I could feel as I'm struggling with these two guys. I could feel my strength in my breath go over my mouth guard, like it just can't. It was so much harder.
Did that put you in any kind of mental state where you're like getting don't know, maybe a little insecure of like, oh, my strength is failing me a little bit, and I'm getting tired.
A little, yeah. I mean, but
That's something that some white belts go through, is
Yeah.
like, oh, because they rely so much on their strength.
Yeah.
As that starts to deplete, or you go against somebody that's like a little bit stronger than you, you're like, oh, I can't use this, now what do I got?
Exactly, yeah.
Puts them in a weird state mentally to where
It did.
they almost like they defeat themselves already, like, this is what I had, this guy's, stronger than me, and now what do I got?
Well, I just wanted to get to the ground, and then once I get to the ground, I'm familiar, because we start on our knees and start sitting down a lot, so I was like, once I get this takedown, and I got both the takedowns, and the first opponent, I drug him to the ground, and I had him on points, I had him 4-0, and I was in his guard, and I was trying to pass his guard, well, I could have just held him there, and won with points, but, we're trying to simulate a real fight. So the wizard told me, he said, try to pass his guard. And so I put an elbow in I put my right elbow in his left knee, and then I had my arm holding him down. And he kept trying to get up, and I slammed him down, and
He was trying to get a hip bump.
he was trying to hip bump sweep me, and I eventually, I was getting my knee past his guard, and he just swung his leg over and armbarred me, and I didn't want to tap. I almost had my arm past his crotch to where I could pull my arm out, but he just was yanking on it, and it was past the point of I had to tap that.
Yeah, smart move too, I mean.
30 seconds left, I wanted to hold it, but
There's no point in like
breaking my arm.
I'm not losing an arm, still got a medal, right?
I got a medal, I gotta go to work tomorrow. I gotta go to work tomorrow, but the second guy, he was shorter, but he was also really strong, a wrestler, and he was getting, during the takedown, he was getting low, and I was like, oh fuck, this guy's pretty strong, and I just pulled it, and when I would see the weak spots, I would yank, and I eventually tried to sweep me, step back, I yanked, and I collar dragged him, threw him to the ground, and I got side control almost to me, or he got me in half guard, Chris, walk your leg up, I got my leg up, got my knee on belly, and I drove my knee to his sternum. Like, I was not nice, dude, and I could hear him, and like, I could, I had to do it, I want to win it, dude, so I drove my knee in, and I sunk my left hand in his collar to go for my baseball bat choke, and he turned into me and went belly down, so I grabbed his lapel, and I sat back, I got my hooks in, and then I pulled down on this lapel, and I straightened my arm with my lat, and I hipped up, and boom, got him. Yeah, it was nice. It was a solid collar choke from the back.
There we go.
And
Did you surprise yourself at all?
yes, I did not know. I didn't know I was going to know what to do. Like I knew as soon as he turned down, I knew exactly what to hit him with. And I just went right into it. And I told Chris, I said, I can't believe I do that.
Yeah, it's always nice when you can use these techniques that we've been training in a live scenario almost.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh wow, this stuff actually does work when I need it, and that's reassuring, man. It's awesome. But mentally, were you surprised with yourself on like maybe how aggressive you were, or did you hit like new levels of like primal?
Well, we get that in training, and honestly, I've had that through most of my life, and this has made me be able to get control of it. And stop growling and grunting and I'm like, maybe if I growl loud enough, I can kill you faster. Like, that's not how it works, dude. You gotta like think about
I don't
know. You gotta learn how to fight.
Super Saiyan.
Yeah, I know. When I was 7 years old, I would literally try to go Super Saiyan. I thought I could eventually.
How old are you now?
31.
Yeah, 31. Did you just turn 31?
This January, I'll be 32.
Oh no, you've been doing this since you're 31. Hey, buddy.
I know.
Yeah.
So what was the nerves like when the first match happened, right?
Well, it happened early. I mean, I had my cup on, I was ready to go, and it was about an hour early, and they said, "Nick with the Stokers, the match." I was like, oh, shit. So my nerves, so as soon as I went back in that area, I could feel and I saw my opponent who was tall and fucking 18 years old, strong, dude, and he had a Ruka gi, RV. It looks like RVC, it's pronounced Ruka.
Yeah.
And as soon as I saw the Ruka gi, I was like, fuck.
Hold on, why?
Because it's like a surfer boy company. I don't know why it psyched me out, but it's like it's a more expensive gi.
Look at how expensive Ruka is.
Right?
I just want to let you know how your brain.
How do you spell Ruka?
RVCA, yeah, it looks like RVCA. But,
Yeah.
and he goes, yeah, his coach was there, and they're like, why didn't you no-gi? I was like, oh, my no-gi's trash. And as I was walking away, I heard him go, oh, just pretend like you're in, not wearing a gi.
What are we looking for? Ruka geese?
Yeah.
So, yeah, he had arm bar.
$120.
Okay. So
Okay, say what? I pay more.
This is how the brain like
Yeah.
sends the message. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
dude,
I did
yeah.
that so you
Yeah.
can see.
Okay.
Because I was
yeah.
pretty sure that wasn't an expensive gift.
Yeah, I
Right?
thought.
And so like when you like walk in, like for me, my opponents always seem like they're bigger than me. Like
Right.
no matter what,
Yeah,
I'm just like,
yeah.
dude, that guy's huge. I'm
Yeah.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
And I'm standing side by side. I'm like, yeah.
I was at the
They're not like an origin. Origin geese. They're like 150, 160.
I was at the weigh-in.
But they're made in America, so.
This
Yeah.
kid was walking up. He was wearing a
Wow.
jacket. He was walking up with the. He's like, "You're Fluenza." He had back here. I was like, I was like, "What belt do you use?" White belt. He goes, "Oh, maybe we're opponents." He goes, "Dude, you're fucking huge." No, I looked down. He goes, "I'm 145 pounds." I was like, "Well, you're wearing a jacket. You look a little bigger." I didn't know. I looked down and forgot how freaking.
Oh, no, I'm gonna go in. See the biggest guy there. That's kind of the crappy thing about the heavyweight division.
Yeah.
Anything after 206
Oh.
in like MMA, anything after 206,
Yeah.
you're a heavyweight.
Ultra heavyweight.
Yeah.
Ultra heavyweight's 265. Anything over 265. But from 206 to 265, heavyweight in MMA. And that's a big disparity. You get someone that's like
I think-
215.
I think in jiu-jitsu it's 220 on up.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah. 201 to
There we
220.
go.
Yeah.
So I can be a light heavyweight.
221.
I can be a light heavyweight now.
Yeah.
What's 200 pounds? What is that?
185 to 200. I think.
Dude, I can go to 285.
That's fast. Those guys are fast.
Yeah,
They can
that's
go
it.
full bore the whole fucking time and not get tired. You know, you're lighter.
Maybe I'll be like
Yeah,
205.
I'm 212, so I weigh
I'm
in
slowing
212.
down quite a bit, so I don't know. We'll see.
No, you got
I'm
good
pulling
pressure.
it.
There's
Pulling
Nate-
at Mike Tyson.
There's pressure. There's pressure, and then there's Nate Smith pressure. You're
Oh,
fucking.
Nate
You're
Smith,
fucking.
yeah.
Oh,
Because
dude.
I used to be way better. Flatten me out.
Yeah.
Flatten me out,
man.
You know?
Tell you what.
That's all it is. Overall, did you have a good experience?
Oh, it was so much fun, dude. I left there, dude. I had a blast. Even if yeah, dude. I had so much fun. My friends were there. The coach. We went out for lunch afterwards. Chinese Japanese restaurant had some eel sushi.
Nice.
Hung out and laughed, and you know, it was a great time, dude. And it was a great experience.
That's what it's
It was-
about, man.
I'm so happy
It
you
was so much fun, bro. Like I cherished that.
That's the big difference between a tournament and a fight.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
when I did,
Celebrate shit.
Yeah.
Eat that guy's ass.
and so at the weigh-in, the guy, one of the guys running the thing, was unloading a van, and he's like, hey, me and the other two guys said, hey, you guys just send me an email and I'll give you free admission for the March grappling acts. So he was the guy that runs the whole thing. And so yeah, he fired off an email and I'll get free admission in March.
Nice.
We may be going in March.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool, yeah,
We
nice.
may go as a team.
Yeah, because there's team awards. If we win it, there it is. There's team awards if we win it.
We may be
So-
going. I know
Yeah.
those guys from that tournament came in here. The two guys that are throwing it on, they came in to hand flyers out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man, it was right when class started. So I was
Yeah.
kinda like, threw him in the air.
Yeah.
This is striking class. Get out of here.
What do you got?
But no, they were really
Brazilian
cool
wrestling.
guys. Like, well, that's cool if we did jujitsu. I know, it's fun to do jujitsu. What do you think? Sorry, what do you think jujitsu means? Huh?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Only striker.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Now.
You guys look like killers, man. I don't know if I want to get punched by that guy.
Some of these guys are getting hard little killers. They're getting harder. And I'm like, don't hit me that hard, bro. Don't do that.
Yeah.
I start crying.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Yep.
What else we got? So overall, great experience.
Yeah.
Do we plan on doing another one?
Yeah, we're the one in March, and then I'm gonna compete, dude. Once I made the decision to compete, I still started to improve, you know. And I don't know if that's subconscious or it's a improve or die, or you're gonna get there and I don't want to lose. I mean, I don't like going. I want to win the gold. Like I just want to have a good experience, and not get injured. And because I have to work and I have to do other stuff in life. So I mean, I need to keep my arms not broken and my hopefully stay conscious.
Well, I think jiu-jitsu is great for that.
Yeah,
honestly,
sure.
you can still compete, and as long as the more advanced you get in jiu-jitsu, the more aware you'll be of like those submissions too. So if you gotta tap out early, you gotta tap out early.
Yeah, I didn't want to tap, man. It was hard. There's a difference between getting armbarred in class and getting armbarred in that. They're that.
Yeah.
They want to break your. I can feel the difference.
We're not trying to
Their job is to tap, their job is to break.
outside of today. We're not
Outside of
Some of the guys, when are you gonna go to street beefs? When are you gonna go to street? And I'm like, maybe, I was like,
Hey, we'll see. When they're ready.
Yeah.
When I get that call from Fire Chicken.
That's right.
You know what's so crazy is they will get that. Like Fire Chicken will get these, or Steven will get these messages from people from all over the U.S. or outside countries or whatever. Like, yeah, fly me in. Fly me in to fight at your event. It's like, I'm not gonna fly you. Since when are we flying fighters in? We got that's exactly it. It's like
some guy from Minnesota.
some dude named Jeff from Minnesota that's 304 pounds. Like, fly me in there, so y'all how to really fight. Like, what kind of training you got?
Everybody thinks that they're all biggest fighters.
Oh man.
Until you fight.
I know. There was a contest, so we did that exhibition match, the tag team exhibition match.
I saw
Yeah.
that.
Comments.
Really good, by the way.
No, I do not.
They actually all look really good.
Thank you.
Wearing the onesies.
No, I thought it was a great match. I thought we all did. We were all having fun. That's what it was about. Was having fun and just showing what the scrapyard was about. It's a community thing too. Well, good one.
Oh, yeah, I was trying to remember the Dunning-Kruger effect. It's a concept that says that the less you know about a subject, the more confidence a person has in it.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like my buddy who I was fishing with, right? He's like, I should get in the UFC. I'm a really good fighter. I'm like,
No, you're not.
I'm like, where have you trained? I don't have any training. You know what I mean? I was like, wow. Natural. I was like, cool, let's go around my yard for a minute. And I tapped him out 5 times. I was like, you suck.
What am I?
Those are the same guys that are like, you hit me and I see red.
Yeah,
That's
how I went through my whole life thinking I could fight, dude, and then came in here and was like, oh fuck, like I can't, no way. Like everyone's just a big man baby, like, well, I'll fight if you fucking better not make me angry. It's like, what? And you walk up and fly, he's all out of breath. It's like, dude, it's like, because that's, if people just want to hit you, they can't actually fight. And once they okay, now we're gonna fight. Come here, and they have no chance. Dude.
Well,
They have no
there's
chance.
that thing and you can get by, dude. Like, imagine if you spent your whole life being the guy that strikes first.
Yeah.
You can rack up some good street fighting, like record that way. You're like,
I had a couple
of dudes. Like, what do you mean?
I know some dudes like that.
I had
that quick trigger. Like, oh what? Oh
yeah, I had a couple lucky knockouts in middle school and fucking thought I was tough or whatever. Like, no, dude.
And then you get somebody that has like good defense,
just like
ready to hit somebody in the stomach, right? Well, like the first time I was ever hit in the stomach, I'm like, oh, dude.
Well, even in our area, one of the guys, Jared, he's one of the guys that came to watch me compete yesterday. When our friends from the gym, he's a beast, dude. This Italian dude from the gym. He competed in Vegas, and so Vegas is kind of the hub for that. So like we compete in our area, even the winners, the really good strong guys here can go to someplace like Vegas and be like realize how not skilled they are. He competed out there, and it's very humbling. Even for a skilled fighter. To go compete over there.
That's why I hate when people like knock out like a UFC fighter. They're like the shittiest UFC fighter will dust off your over.
You change your whole life.
Fight camps, dude.
UFC fighter is like that's like the NBA of fighting. You know what I mean? Like that's like saying like like you're sitting there like with your friends playing like basketball in the yard or whatever, and you're like, okay, dude, I can get that.
No, that's the craziest thing I feel like though, it's unlike basketball or something like that.
Yeah,
Everyone thinks they can throw a punch.
Yeah,
Everybody
I
thinks
know.
because they can do this motion.
yeah.
And because in their world or their life, when they've gotten angry, it's
Yeah.
always gotten them out of the situation.
Sure.
So they have that misconception of, I can do this, and when I get angry, I tend to get my way, so they have that weird
Yeah,
misconception,
yeah,
this is how it's
yeah.
always gonna be, you don't wanna see me get angry. 'Cause
Yeah.
bad things happen when I get angry, and
Yeah.
then, like I said, they go against trained people.
They're out of breath.
That are like, I mean, think about it, the screaming and stuff, and all that, that's normal, though. When you're out on the street and somebody doesn't know what they're doing, they're gonna get loud and all that. When you come in here, you start doing that, we're just like, whatever, bro, I can do that. We don't
Yeah.
care. It's not gonna change, but I'm gonna do it, you know what I mean? You're just showing more people what I'm gonna do to you, I don't
Yep.
care.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
that's what it is to be trained, you do get that humbling sort of mentality, because you've been
I
through
love
it, you
I love
know?
what you said too, the same Dunning-Kruger effect is the more you learn about a topic, the more you know what you don't know.
Oh,
So it
yeah.
humbles you,
Yeah.
it's like, I was just talking to Brian about him being an expert, his PT, he's got his PhD.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm not an expert. And
You
I'm
just
like,
fixed my elbow.
he
Very
knows
helpful, yeah.
all the things
Well,
that he doesn't know.
The only thing a wise man knows is that he knows nothing.
Yes, that's it.
That's
The more you
I
learn
got that
about it,
tattoo right here, bro.
Yeah. Oh, it hurts.
I actually have a humble tattooed on my back.
You're lower, man.
Oh, man.
It says hobble.
No, like, you bring up a good point, like, you know, I remember, my buddy Mike, he's the guy that brought me to jujitsu, and he was like, look, when you get your blue belt, you're gonna go back on the bottom of the pile. And I was like, what do you mean, that's not gonna happen to you, dude?
Blue belt mafia, bro.
I've
heard about blue belt mafia.
Yeah, and I swear, like, I got my blue belt, I met a guy named Boss who just murdered me. Like, he was this big Russian dude that was like a 10-time gold medal winning champion.
Yeah, you gotta watch out for those guys.
And I'll say this, I'll say that the difference in skill level was like as if I was a day one guy and I was going up against some like a purple belt, you know what I mean? And he just murdered me, like there's nothing I could do. And then I realized like, oh, there are levels to this game. And,
Yeah.
And it's almost like you climb this mountain and then you get to see like the other view. And you're like, oh shit, this thing is actually that big?
Yeah.
I didn't know this thing was that big.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, and then you're looking around and you're like, okay, I guess the climb doesn't stop.
You just get to a checkpoint.
It's not a top, dude.
I think that's a
Long
great
way to
analogy.
go.
Yeah, you get to that checkpoint to really see over the top.
Right.
You're like, oh shit, there's a
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
thing out there.
Yeah.
And I think I was talking about that today with the new student we had, Rob,
Yeah.
where he was like, oh, when do you think I'm gonna get good at all this? I'm like, bro, it's gonna be a while before you get decent
Yeah.
at anything.
Yeah.
It's training, and then when you take some time off, you start to
Yeah.
progress,
Oh, yeah.
and you feel that in yourself,
Yeah.
you know? I also noticed too, like if you're training multiple aspects,
Yeah.
you're gonna focus on one area for whatever amount of time.
Yeah.
And then this other area is gonna probably dip
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless
Yeah.
you're a full-time,
Yeah.
martial
Yeah.
artist, and
Yeah, that's
you're a
true.
pro, and you're doing this 6 hours a day, where you're doing 2 hours stand-up, 2 hours of grounding, 2 hours cardio.
You
And
know,
you're trying to keep on top of that, but.
even at my before like I started cross training, like I remember that striking always took a hit. Striking always took a backseat, you know. And then it wasn't until like I met you really.
Yeah.
Is when I realized like, oh, like there's like, because I remember the first time we put on gloves together, and I was like, I think I'll be okay.
Hey, what the-
There's something for it. And I remember not.
You're gonna be surprised how
Oh,
hard it
okay.
is. You're gonna be surprised how hard I'm gonna hit it.
And I'm getting mad and he's singing. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, it's so,
And
yeah.
it just opened my eyes to the fact that like, oh man, this striking thing, there's like a whole another world that I haven't been really touching, you know? And yeah, so that's.
Hey, you see that same with jujitsu, and
Yeah.
you'll see that too with like, judo and takedown.
Sure.
Further along you get into it, you're like, oh shit, that's what they're looking for?
Mm-hmm.
A great example again is Pedro Sauer said invisible jiu-jitsu. I can explain something to you, but
Sure.
it takes repetition. It takes, an understanding of what leverage is. And not just the verbal understanding, but actually a feel of what spacing and leverage is to be proficient at jiu-jitsu. And the same thing goes for stand-up. You have to have an understanding of range and angles. And if you don't have that understanding of those things, like the chances of you being like a solid striker are minimized. You're gonna be at a disadvantage. If anything, you'll just be someone who goes in there and bangs. Just like with a jiu-jitsu guy, you're just a guy that goes in there with muscles. That's gonna take you only so far.
And there's also the things that we have to teach certain concepts to people that are beginners, like in increments, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like, for instance, when you're inside someone's guard, we always tell somebody like, hey, position over submission, right? Don't try to strangle somebody in somebody's guard.
Right.
Unless you know the choke in somebody's guard, right? But you can't teach them that until later, right? Or in the stand-up portion, right? There's about 5 chokes that are actually from inside somebody's guard. You know what I mean? And or from like the stand-up part, right? Where it's like always go for the underhook. And yes, except for like somebody that's good at using an overhook. Right? If I'm fighting for an underhook, like if somebody's good at using the overhook, but you don't realize that paper, rock, scissors until later.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, but there are those key principles, like you were saying. It's like in striking, keep your hands up. You don't want to stay online when you're striking, so you don't move your head around. You're gonna be a hard target, right? Managing the rein, have that understanding. There's like these key principles you gotta look for. And so once you teach them those key principles, which I always feel is that white to black belt level. Once you're a black belt, you have an understanding of the basic fundamentals of whatever it is you're studying. Now you know the basics and the fundamentals. That's what makes you a black belt, is that. And then from that is when you start to develop like your skill set. Now with these tools that you have the principles and understanding of these tools. How are you gonna use them? What unique way are you gonna use these? And that's how you develop your own fighting style, is through that. But fundamentally, we all start from a white belt level. And we may start at different, levels in that white belt level. I may be really good at this particular thing, but we're still here because this particular thing doesn't make me up here. It just makes that one aspect up here. When another aspect would be really down here.
And my nogi is subpar. It's not very good. A guy came in, Dennis. I don't remember if he's been in recently, but we were boxing, and dude, from him coming off the street, my boxing really from the day one, it's drastically improved. Like I had to let him. I was like, just kind of trying to let him work, but I just toyed with him. I was so much better than he was, and then we got into nogi, and he Ezekiel choked me. Right? He's much heavier than me, but he and I was like, did you ever? I go, did you ever wrestle? Did you ever wrestle? You ever done this before? He's like, no, I just played video games. I'm like, never fought. I'm like, wow, that's
why it's back out, right? I want you to keep coming back, so I want to,
It's also really interesting how certain people will latch onto certain things. Like there's like one type of student that they'll like learn, they're like almost autistic with one move.
They're almost
you want to scoot in just
now we're all in here. Like Jordan Monday was a guy that he couldn't like learn a lot of moves at once, but he learned the baseball choke and just like got good at it, like fast, like abnormally fast. Like it took me forever to learn that choke. I don't know why, but for him, it did. That's why I know it so well. It took me forever, but for him, learned it almost immediately. And then he like won like 4 gold medals with it, or 5 gold medals with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a good choke.
And then for some people, they can learn like pieces.
Yeah, their natural ability, their natural understanding of a movement or
well, in real life scenarios, I was in downtown Portland after a rave, and my girlfriend and I were walking from Burnside to Lovejoy. It's this nice walk, the streets all lit up. Well, this dude with a backpack on was like looking for somebody to rob, I could tell. And so I was eating out in front. I was
looking like this.
I was unarmed, and so I took my I had this big chain on my wallet, and so I took it off my belt and refastened my belt. And I was like, well, if he comes up behind us, I'm just going to swing that around his neck with a baseball bat. Because it's big enough to, it would work. I told the wizard about it, he's like, yeah, that would work, for sure.
I approve. I was gonna get around his neck, and I was gonna.
Dude, you have to tell everybody. It sounds like you're better at no than you think.
Someone's got a hoodie, that
What
hoodie.
if this is just like Nick
Yeah.
walking around town? Nick is just walking around town seeing dudes like,
You got a jacket on?
I'll get that guy.
You got a jacket on, you're fucked. Put this on.
This is that Blue Belt Mafia outside. You start getting to that level, you start competing, you start looking there. What's your weight, bro? Yeah, I could probably take that. Hell yeah, that's like competition stuff, man. I like it.
They're walking around with like a wad of cash and
Yeah.
somebody tries to
The best thing is you start walking around with like your jiu-jitsu medals on.
Yeah,
you start wearing a belt that's a white belt. Like you've seen those?
I've seen those online.
Yeah.
So I was walking around Macy's. I didn't get the chance to go home, so I was literally walking around Macy's for hours while my girl was shopping in the gi with the medal on.
Yeah. He's like, no, I don't. She's like, you want to go home, Jake? He's like, why? I don't know how to do that. I'm wearing this is why. You'll hide my accomplishment. No, I did the same thing too, bro. That's why I got so much Columbia River Jiu-Jitsu gear.
I do it all the time. Yeah.
I wear
Yeah.
I love it.
Everybody, people.
I hope people come. I hope people come, and they say, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna come. And I was like, I will give you a gi if you come." And they, some people come a day.
You
Well,
He's like, you gotta show more.
you gotta sign up. Right? I'm not just gonna give you a gi. Oh, yeah, you gotta sign up.
So I've never run into a product that is so difficult to promote, but also so beneficial.
Yeah.
So like the people that do it, like it changes their life.
If I had
down
to
the court,
I had to be extremely mentally ill
It's
for me to
like-
come to that door, and I came in here, and you guys literally saved my life. You know.
I know I
you
did.
guys. So
I took
you know.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. No, all seriousness though.
I know, I'm being serious.
From day one to now, like how I came in here. You know.
Doesn't want to be called duck, refers to himself as having wings.
Dragon has wings, Steven.
The red
I know you want those ducklings, they ain't gonna
Yeah,
stay.
yeah.
You can't be called not to make the duck.
Is that one of the ducks? You wear the suit and the Halloween thing, or what? I don't know.
No, it was a big guy.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. Well, I was like putting little word effects on our Facebook message
Okay.
chat and Buffalo Joe.
Yeah.
Oh, the buffalo. Oh, okay, I saw that one. I didn't
And
see
I
the
kept
duck
one for
one.
me, so I was like, well, he's working hard, but it looks like he's working hard. you know?
Yeah. It's like
Much like a dragon.
Yeah, every time I punch at him,
It
doesn't
do anything. No, that's what I'm talking about. The demoralization when you're, it's just he's so much. Yeah, but it's fun to learn
All these things.
It's fun to learn with him, dude, because it's
to take off on you.
It's humbling. Oh, duck.
Oh, hilarious, man.
No, but this is definitely one of the things that I feel like it changes people down to the core, man. It's if you can show up and get your ass beat and get good at jujitsu, it means that you've been able to show up to a place where everybody can kill you, and you stayed longer than most people stay there. Long enough to get good.
I feel like that's how it is with martial arts.
Yeah.
If you're at a good school,
Yeah.
martial arts that are promoting these things. Now, jiu-jitsu
Yeah.
has kind of found this niche where they're able to promote that. Jiu-jitsu wasn't always like that, though.
Yeah.
Like, jiu-jitsu was very cultish. which it was we're teaching jujitsu, and then when they marketed it out, now it's like, it's for everybody, it's soft technique.
Yeah.
But originally, jujitsu was not soft technique, it was like wrestling practice.
Yeah.
And you see how many wrestlers are,
Yeah.
not the common folk are gonna be wrestlers.
Yeah.
But yeah, how they make it and stuff like that, and what we're trying to build here, in particular, is an atmosphere for that, so that we can come here and not just beat you up, but build you up as well. And try to provide, a pathway from our experiences, so that hopefully you guys that are not as experienced don't have to go through. And also from your experiences, help pass that down to some of the younger guys as well. And that's the beauty of this, we can collectively come together and share those things, and because we train together, we are able to break those boundaries that kind of like prevent most people from even talking about it, because of your skill set, my skill set, not everything, you are more willing to kind of listen to the advice we give you, because we can do this thing.
Yeah.
That you're like, that you respect and you admire, and you're like, oh, okay, well, then I can listen to you about other things, and from, the coaching standpoint, or from a mentoring standpoint, we have to, be careful with that too, like, we're not trying to steer you down the wrong path. Or
On the flip
stuff
side
like
of that, maybe you guys paint my fence.
Yeah. That is for, that's for your it's all, we can make it sound for you.
For the Lord, you gotta do it, I'll do it for the Lord.
The Lord, your character,
I don't know, you want them good again.
Wax on, wax off.
Sweep the legs. There is that as well.
So Chris and I discussed this on the way down there. I go, well, one of our Lincoln goes to the seminars, and I was, that sounds amazing. And he goes, well, really, it's a lot of times it's cool of meet and greet. And I go, well, if you believe in the divine, you can think that you just got better from meeting the guy.
Hey, Chris just looks at him like,
He doesn't buy into that stuff.
he's like,
And then we laughed. And then, did the red dragon really make me better? No, probably not. But I made it. But that stuff only gets you so far. It's the work. It's the day to day.
Did it or did it not?
Did it? What do you
I don't know.
Did you not get some private lessons from Jordan?
I did not actually.
I thought you did.
No, I met him. I did. So no.
got his autograph.
I shook my hand. I went into his garage. He gave me the keys. He
showed me his medal.
Yeah, and that was it. He goes, tell Joe that you arm-barred me on my bad shoulder for this gi. I told Joe he didn't believe it. He's like, I don't believe it.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
I'm sure he is giving you
No,
lessons on how to do that.
I haven't got it. Ian Vossler told me about some private lessons because I did yard work for him with landscaping.
Yeah.
Again.
I haven't done that. But it basically get privates here from you guys. You guys pull me aside. Each coach has helped me in my journey, dude. And I love it.
Again, the beauty of this gym, and us being close and small, for now anyways. So we can do those private things.
Yeah.
It's I know it sounds selfish, but I almost don't want it to grow past a certain point.
I need it to.
I know we need it to.
Unless that lotto comes through.
Yeah.
I can buy it.
Maybe we could all just start our OnlyFans, you know?
Yeah.
We could all, put in the file, we can just keep our clubhouse.
Sponsor us.
That's what I do Monday night OnlyFans. Class. Jiu-jitsu. That's what I'm calling it. Jiu-jitsu.
No, but here's the real deal, man. I'm really proud of you.
Here's a price.
Thanks.
Thank you. And it's cool that you got to come in. You've been training now for over a year, I think, right?
About 8 months, right?
Yeah, because he started training after I started competing.
Is that March?
And I started competing in March.
Yeah. By the way, your comeback was awesome too. By the way, because
You literally
like I saw you I think right around your last MMA competition. Yeah.
And
And
that's
then-
a rough loss.
And then you were like, I'm not doing it, and you just like, you got.
Started doing drugs.
Yeah. So, and I remember you showing up to training a couple times. I was like,
Hey.
"God, you're getting, I'm not gonna say nothing, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna say nothing, but like,
It's the difference because I was lazy.
yeah.
Oh, so this guy, I came in, I got something called the Valley Fever from a music festival in California. It rolls around the dust down there. I came back, my teeth were chattering, I'd sweat through clothes immediately after putting them on.
Yeah.
I got down to 204.
Yeah.
204? Yeah, and I came in here wearing a tank top, and this guy goes, "Hey Nick, so man, you're looking kind of small." And he said that, and it was like, boom, and I was like, small. Like, I just like, I laid awake. Small. And I look at night, I would lay awake and think about it, and I looked back, boom, I made a montage.
It was just as fast
Yeah. And I went in the gym with a vengeance, dude. And, it really inspired me. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
That shows you how much stock I take in the things you say to me.
That's showing you how wise I am. Just a little, hey, you're getting small. Don't say anything else to him. Just look over across the room.
And now my arms, so I put my arms there, I'm getting a rash from the sleeves are too tight. My arms are too big to fit an extra large.
Oh,
So I need to get a tapered, some kind of, I don't know. I told my girl, I'm gonna cut the sleeves off all my shirts except one. But then it's all big.
I grew out of this one.
I just gotta make sure the guns are okay.
I'm going the opposite way, bro. I started eating tortillas like 2 or 3 weeks ago, bro. I'm like 7 pounds.
Oh, dude, I know it's
Damn near.
So we're gonna bolt.
Damn near.
We're gonna
bro.
bolt till New Year's, and then January, my girl and I are going back on carnivore diet, which is.
Yeah, that's what I just
so
thought.
that's what-
Carnivore
yeah.
is where it's at. Drop that
Yeah.
shit, bro.
Dude, tell me how good a tortilla tastes after not doing it for 7
You know,
months.
the idea of it's better than what it actually tastes like.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
idea of carbohydrates.
The idea of the carbs are better because if you start eating them, you're like, okay, well, this isn't as good as I thought it was gonna be, and then you feel like shit.
Yeah.
Like, you don't feel like
yeah,
the
it
insulin
does.
for like the night, like if you, whatever it is, you wanna lay down, you start feeling like shit. And then my joints started hurting more.
Yeah.
That's a big thing too.
So, like, I was off sugar for 6 months. For 6 months, I had no sugar at all.
That sounds amazing.
I lost 60 pounds. Yeah, I was down to 250 with my life,
Mhm.
right? And for me,
In your life.
Yeah. Yeah. No, not my life, but for me at 250, I look pretty good.
Yeah.
But I took like one thin slice of this cake, and I remember like, I just want to try it, man. You know, and the minute that like cake like started dissolving in my mouth, my brain, like something in my brain.
That's
Okay.
Yeah.
So tortillas,
Yes.
okay, yeah.
Like a
Sugar,
Yeah.
sugar, yes.
Yeah.
So I did do some sugar.
Yeah.
So sugar, yes. When you touch sugar again,
Yeah.
that shit's like boom, you're gone.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
full on.
No, I need to get off that shit.
I
Whatever.
ate a pancake at the Denny's in Redding, California, and I felt my stomach go mute. Whoop. One pancake.
That's gonna be bad.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Well, we're coming up on that hour. It's already been an hour, right?
Oh,
Isn't
yeah.
Isn't that kind of crazy?
Yeah. It's over a year and a half hour.
Yeah, right? No, we're gonna get this audio thing all figured out. Get it going.
Oh, I don't get here anything.
Yeah. And then I'm thinking, we'll start doing these live just because it's more convenient.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
And it seems like, we get a lot of off-the-cuff shit when we go live. I don't have to come back and edit anything, and whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
We're at a point now.
Thank you guys for having me today.
Of course, Nick. Thanks for coming, stopping in with
I
us.
love you, dude. Thank you.
Nick did really well at his tournament this past weekend. We're all proud of him. We all want to four-way kiss him.
Yeah.
And bye, guys. See you guys.
Yeah, take it easy, guys.
No, we're gonna do some quick little future things coming. November 23rd, we got the Street Beefs events. We're gonna be going up there again. It'll probably be the last Street Beefs we do of the year. I don't know if we're gonna go up in December or not. That's still kind of being debated. We have one competitor so far, Matthew, aka Dad, will be competing competing on November 23rd in a boxing match. Check that one out. I hear there's a potential title thing floating around. Throwing that out there, so we're maybe getting a potential title holder maybe
Nice.
in our gym soon.
Here we go.
So we got that coming up. Depending on how I feel that day, I may compete, I may not. We'll see how it goes. So we got that. December 7th also, we'll be at the NWC. That's here in Vancouver, Washington, the Northwest Championship. Promoter is Austin Springer. Very cool promoter, former UFC fighter, stuff like that. We will have, well, we're working on it, but we're potentially gonna have Big Ugly and ain't nothing yet, Sloth, as a tag team jiu-jitsu match, doing a tag team jiu-jitsu match.
Oh, man.
Big Ugly, aka James, and then Sloth. Ain't nothing left yet.
Yeah.
They just have to make the 400-pound mark.
How are you gonna do that?
Well, they'll make it. Have you seen James lately?
He's at 250, right?
He's at 254 last I saw him.
He's cutting now. And Sloth is like at
180.
Yeah.
closer to 170 now.
Okay.
So
Yeah, they could do that. That's
Okay, that's
we'll
gonna
see.
be
We'll
right.
see.
Yeah,
That's like Big Ugly and like a small child.
Well, I mean, they're close. They're really close. I think when we did the math, which was over a week ago,
Yeah.
week and a half ago, they were 30 pounds off.
That's not bad.
Okay.
That's not
So
bad.
between the two
You
of them,
gotta dehydrate. You
That's
gotta.
come out of Big Ugly though.
yeah, and he's been cutting.
Yeah.
He's already on the cut thing. Slav feels like he can cut probably a good 10.
Okay.
He's looking really muscular.
Yeah, he's looking
Yeah,
muscular.
Yeah, very.
That's
I was
gonna be rough.
yeah.
That's gonna be rough.
Hey, worst case scenario, just subs out for Toad, right?
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, that's what we're shooting for. I talked to both of them.
Both of those matches would be cool.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, the only thing, well, Slav with Toad, I mean, not Slav with Toad, James with Toad, maybe. That might work out.
Yeah.
It might. Toad's pretty decent. We'll have to see how Toad feels about that. But we'll play with it.
What's still winning at? 140?
Easily.
Yeah.
Yeah, 130, 140. Yeah, he's scrawny. So we got that coming up. Let's see, December 7th. I think that's it for the year when it comes to competition. Unless we got anything in December.
Yeah.
I heard there's an OG thing in December. Did you guys hear about that?
I know.
No? So we're not gonna talk about that, I guess. Good. All right, thanks for tuning in, guys.
Thank you, guys.
We'll see you guys later, some other time. Yeah. Next week. Thanks, guys. Yeah. All right, get your clothes off now. Take your clothes off, guys. Got pants back on. OnlyFans.